The transcript. Um, Give me just a moment. Oh, all right. Welcome everybody. This is the Human-Centered Ownership and Measured Excellence course. We are in week number 4. So we finished our kind of foundational levels where we're talking about the syllabus and the professional development. And then last time we talked about observations. I'm happy to hear that many people have their observations scheduled, and I think even somebody has done it. So, if you were unable to schedule that, I was recommending, I don't know if I said it at the end of last meeting, but um, I created, well, there's always the home board as the discussion board if people want to communicate with others in the course. So for this one, in the home board, I put an observation partners connections thing. So this was for the people who were able to fill out that form. This includes availabilities. If you notice that your name's on this list and you have already found somebody, um, then just let me know and I can take it off. You can send me a message here on Zoom or um, send me an email or I don't know if it's because I just want to make sure that, if your name's on that list and you're already, tapped out and you don't need to observe anybody or you don't want anybody observing you, then I'll take you off that list. So, um, and let's looks like Charity's found someone. Brenton has found someone. That's great. Um, if you still need someone, you can just reply and say, "Hey, I'm looking for somebody to observe me," and then give your information about when you are available for that. And then also one thing I wanted to point out, just continuing from last week, I created a new assignment. It's called the Home Observations for week 3, and um, the same gives you the overview, and then there's some guided notes on what you like if you're going into the observation. You could have this kind of gu- guidelines template where you can fill in like what course will you be observing, what's the focus, what are you going to be focused on, um, and then you know talk about the home inspection document and kind of what you want to focus for the observation. There's some helpful tips here, and then also the post meeting notes as well. So if you are just looking for a little bit more guidance on the observation process, I didn't talk too much about it during our session last time, but you can go here to this assignment. If you'll notice, it's in the modules and it's at the bottom of week 3. So there's that. And then when you're done with your observations, make sure you submit it to that. Don't submit it to the inspection. The week 3 home inspection is that document, the inspection document. So fill that out and then post that there. Any sort of observations, uh, make sure you put that in here. And this is a 3-point assignment, which means the 3 hours. So if you have the notes from the pre-meeting, the notes from the observations, and then the post, then those are the 3 things you would need to get the points for that. Before we get into week 4, we're heading upstairs. Is there any other questions related to observations that you feel like as a group we should know about? If you have individual ones, feel free to email me or message me, as I said, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. But anything else? Okay, good. I was hoping for silence. That means there's no problems. So let's go ahead and move on to week number 4. Week number 4, like I said, we're going upstairs. So we stayed on the bottom floor here for our foundations. We went into the living room, went into the kitchen, and then we went into the backyard and we talked about singing karaoke. Oh, actually, real quick before I move on, I wanted to ask if anybody's going to do karaoke today. Any takers? No? Curtis, I see you shaking your head. That means, is that a yes?
No, technically they would have to change it to scarioke.
Karaoke. Oh, I like that. Um, for the people who put your songs on here, thank you. And I'm hoping that when I play these songs during the next in-service, I can hear you singing along. Some of y'all didn't put your names there, so I need to know who is singing. Oh, is this the one where everybody? Oh, here. Summertime is great. Who's singing Queen? Who's singing Happy? Make sure you put your names on there. I see Diana, we talked about last time, is going to do the Galway Girl, not the Ed Sheeran version. And uh, I was really hoping Dion would be here to do the Humpty Dumpty dance, but he's teaching class right now. So make sure when we're going to move on to the week four. Uh, what is this? What am I calling these digipads? The week four digipad. Make sure you put your name on there so that people can see. It doesn't automatically add your name in there. So okay, that's week three. Let's move on to week four. So what we're going to be doing for the next 5 weeks is we're going to look at the different communities of practice. And so you'll see here where it says COP preview, that just means community of practice preview. The goal of these sessions, this one here in week four, week five, all the way through week eight, is to kind of get an idea about the different areas of focus that these communities of practice are going to be um, looking at in the fall. And so the plan is that we're going to complete this course, most of it by the end of the summer. There's a couple extra sessions that have to go into fall just because summer is kind of short. But then we would have our in-service day where we're still planning it out, but the idea would be um, planning with your community that you would like to join, what your professional development wants to look like for that year, and so kind of like sketching out the 14 weeks of professional development. These are each of the tracks, and they're all aligned. I've talked about this before, but they're aligned with the CARES goals of the college. And so we're going to start with community of care. Next, we'll do access and retention all the way down to the end. But so you'll see the way that I've kind of differentiated them is by color. And so for the first week, we're going with green. I feel like that's kind of a caring color, and it's one of our Clover Park colors. And so we'll start with that. And so if you click on the meeting, let me go ahead and put this into the chat. You can see the focus for the community room, community of practice is caring course design and Canvas excellence. So we're heading upstairs. This is the place where the household gathers and where the blueprints for a well-built home are laid out on the table. This week, we're going to run a course design blueprint on your focus course and then learn the one skill that makes alignment visible. We're going to build an alignment crosswalk. So if you're not sure what that is, stick around. We're going to be talking about it, and I'm going to be showing you all examples. So we're going to be using AI to draft it. There is an option for not using AI, of course, but if you want a little head start shortcut, you can use AI. And then obviously, if you're going to use AI, then using your own judgment to refine it. But before all of that, we have to think about how we want our community room to feel like home. And you can think about this as like your classroom too. What can you do in your digital space? What can you do in your physical space um, to make this shared space feel like everybody belongs? Which I think is kind of the essence of community. So I'm Ronald, as y'all know, and I'm going to be bringing a pride flag um, and put it up on the wall to let students know that I'm an ally and someone that they can feel safe around. I stand by all my students, no matter their background or personal preference. So now it's your turn. We have the plus button here if you want to add your capsule. Remember, add your name. So Charity, nice job. I see you right here. You've already put. I'm bringing my flowering, is that cyclamen? Cyclamen? Houseplant. Oh, and I can see already some people have already started adding. So yeah, continue to add those. I'm going to give you all a minute to put those on and give me an excuse to play some more songs about home.
Home is where I want to be. Pick me up and turn me round. I feel numb, born with a weak heart. I guess I must be having fun.
All right. I think that's long enough. It looks like we've already got a nice collection here. We've got smiles. Smiles are always nice. Uh, and Deanna's bringing a bookshelf with books. Just a bunch of Shakespeare play manuscripts.
I was more thinking like those shareable bookshelves that people bring books that mean something to them, so everybody could feel
Oh,
included by bringing their own stories and showing people, what they like to read, or even just like something that represents them.
I love that. That's great. What book would you bring?
Um, I love so many books. I would have to bring Shakespeare, maybe the big one, all the works of Shakespeare.
Oh, nice. All right. Let's see what else we got in here. We got Earl bringing a cutaway of a turbine engine. I mean, that would definitely be interesting. I would be happy to look around and poke around that.
Yeah, I always bring them to our events that we have for the school, and it seems like everybody always hovers around it and talks about it and whatever's going on and stuff pretty openly.
It's like the water hole. It
Yeah,
is the water hole.
right.
All right. So we got somebody bringing in pizza, but I don't know who it is. So make sure, once again, if you are going to put something, try to put your name. So and say who's bringing the pizza. I can do it while I'm in here. Pizza, pizza. And also, what kind of pizza are you bringing? That matters. Nobody's claiming the
I
pizza.
did put my name there wrong. Sorry.
Oh, Tarla Chan.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see. You put it here. Sorry.
yeah.
I was looking for it at the beginning, but it is there at the end. So thank you, Tarla Chan. And Sally's going to bring in student artwork. Nice. That's cool. I used to, when I was teaching elementary school in Korea, I would always do projects, uh, and I would put it up all around the room. Like my whole room would be full of student projects. It's just kind of a fun way to liven up the space, make your students feel like they're contributing to something greater. So okay, that's great, everybody. Thank you all for doing that. And I'm gonna take all of these while we're here in the live session, or like when I'm done, all the ones that have been submitted, and I'm gonna add them to the walls of this. Even though it looks pretty full right now, there's a whiteboard. We're gonna have to just kind of cover up some of this stuff because I like what y'all are bringing more than what's in there already. So, okay, today's focus, we're going to run the course design blueprint on the focus course and learn to build an alignment crosswalk. As I said already, by the end, you'll be able to build the crosswalk from your syllabus and Canvas content with AI or by hand. And then we're going to look at the Washington course design checklist. And it should be, let me see here, should be hyperlinked, but for some reason it's not. I'm going to put this in the chat. It might be hyperlinked somewhere else. Ooh, I didn't want to press that button, but okay. I'm going to put that in the chat for y'all if you want to access the course design checklist. And then by the end, you leave with the first draft of a crosswalk and then a plan to do your week 4 home inspection. We're doing critical thinking here today. We're going to evaluate and create, evaluate your course and create a crosswalk. And then this alignment would be to B2, create, evaluate, and modify the curriculum. And then our course learning outcome is applying the Washington course design checklist and CARES framework. Okay, so I want y'all to do, we're moving down to event 3 here. The course that you've been carrying, pull up a focus course that you chose back in week 1, if you chose one. If you haven't, choose a course now. And then we're going to look at how it's built. And I'm gonna attempt a live demo with one of your courses. So course design, as y'all know, is more than just the content. It's the structure, the navigation, the alignment, and the experience that the student has moving through your course. So before we get into the checklist, let's reconnect with one of the courses that we've been working on. So what I need from you when you're filling out this form is I need the Canvas course ID. So for example, if I look up here at my, what is this called? Address bar. Ooh. So if I look in my address bar, see if I can zoom this in. It's not. Let me do it. Oh, hold on. I haven't run this yet. So just give me a sec. Okay. So, ooh, that's kind of crazy. Can y'all see this number? Oh no, never mind. I'm not doing this. It's gonna break the computer. This number where after it says here cptc.instructure.com/courses/ and then there's a number. That's the number that you want to put in here. Okay. So after you put your email address, I'll put my email address, and then you put your course ID. That's just that number there. And then you're gonna write down one part of your course that you're proud of. You say, I feel like my course is welcoming. What is one place most often, what is one place students most often get stuck or have to ask for help? I'm still having some problems with the digipad. So, okay. I forgot the course ID and the form is already, okay, I got it, Elizabeth. So that's the course ID. Thank you. And then let me go ahead and see what's coming up here for these, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, with the permission of the submitter, I'm going to use one of your courses as an example to run the demo later. So if, let me bring it up here. This is week 4. Okay. So according to my form, this will not expose student information. No, 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 no. I'm not taking anything from the course that's like related to students. Nothing about IDs, nothing about like work that they've done or quizzes. It's just simply like if you imagine, when you're taking a course and you're like copying it from another course, it's that same thing. It's just like the assignments and the quizzes, like the descriptions, not the actual ones. All right, I got let's see. I got Elizabeth Stewart in first. Elizabeth, do you want me to use your course as a demo, or can I use your course as a demo today?
Of course, totally.
Nice. Nice. Cool. Um, so what I'm gonna do is this the same one that we did before that I talked to you about? Or is it a
Yes,
different
I
one?
think you know this course very well. So,
Okay, that's great. This better. So, okay. Actually, I'm gonna pop into that course on the side screen here. So just to make sure I have everything I need. Okay, so I have what I need. Let me check to make sure I've got six form submissions. I'll wait until I get a couple more and then we'll move on. In the meantime, more talking heads.
Less we say about it, the better. Make it up as we go along. Feet on the ground, head in the sky. It's okay, I know nothing's wrong, nothing. Oh, I got plenty of time. Oh, you got light in your eyes, and you're standing here beside me. I love the passing of time, never for money, always for love. Cover up and say goodnight, say goodnight.
Okay, I think that is enough. So I am going to continue with what we're working on. All right, so let's talk about course design and Canvas excellence. This the community room, as we're calling it, is where the household gathers and where the blueprints get laid out on the table. I said that already, I feel like. So, a well-built room is designed on purpose. You know where everything is, the light is right, the guests can find their way without being told. That's key. Um, Course design is that, but for your course, when it is done with care, students spend their energy learning instead of hunting for an assignment. How many times have y'all been in a course where you're like, I don't know where to go. Where are the assignments? What am I supposed to be doing? Um, I've seen a lot of courses in at this college, and I would say a lot of what y'all are doing is great. I can go in your courses. Like I've met with who did I meet with this week? I some people took advantage of meeting with me to for the instructional design observation. So I met with Dion and Earl, Dean, Elizabeth, um, and y'all's courses look great. So keep up the good work. Um, and I'm hoping that, everybody can at some point have a course where it's really easy for your students to get around and know what they need to do. One thing that can help with that is the Washington Course Design Checklist because you don't know what you don't know. And this is a document that was created by Alyssa Sells from the State Board, Washington State Board of Community and Technical Colleges. And it's very similar to something called Quality Matters, which in the name you can kind of guess what it is. It's like the quality of your course is important. And so if this is looking familiar to some of you, this is what the focus for the of framework for faculty and student success course was focused on. If anybody took that big long course that we were running, I think it was 2 years ago, we covered these sections, the first three sections. We talked about a sense of belonging and student engagement. We talked about outcomes. We talked about assessment. And if you are interested in that course, if you're feeling like, maybe this is where you need to improve, if you're looking at this list and you're saying, oh, like go back to your week one inspection document. Oh, did you put low, like you're emerging on some of these things? Like maybe this is where you would want to put your focus. If you go to our professional development page in our LibGuide, so it says here Prof Dev. There's the home course. That's what we're working on now. But if you come down here where it says FFSS, this is the framework for faculty and student success. So 82 hours, lot of skill standard B because that's relating with like curriculum and a lot of this course, a lot of this section, as I said, is outcomes, assessments, and feedback. So that's a good one. If you want to know what this course looks like at a glance, I created something called a crosswalk. So we're gonna attempt to make one of these crosswalks today. But basically, what it is you've got week by week what you're going to be doing, what the lesson is going to be about. This one has the objective, but it also has the alignment. So how does that align with whatever the course learning outcomes are? So one of the course learning outcomes for this framework course was cultivating a sense of belonging. Um, and then, if you have a course, you would align it with your program learning outcomes. We're aligning it with the skill standards, and then, of course, the college-wide learning outcomes. So I can see at a glance, okay, this is what we're going to be focusing on, and then get a little bit more information about that and how it relates to some of the goals for the college. So, um, anybody in here gone through the framework for faculty and student success course? See some people that have taken some of the modules. I know Sally. Sally would come live, so shout out to you, Sally. Sa is it possible? Can you talk a little bit about the course from what you remember?
Hold on. Oh my gosh. I sometimes get that one. I think I did the AI generative course right after that.
Hmm.
But the framework for faculty success was so systematic and it took you through that's the one that took you through everything, right? You would from your
Yeah.
syllabus to your rubrics to your assignments, like you had a chance to basically rework or evaluate
Hmm.
everything about your course, right?
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
evaluate is a good word. And yeah, that is the one. The 82 hours of like, here's
Yeah.
here's what the standard is, and then here's what all the indicators are, and then this is how you would meet those indicators.
Yeah, it was grueling, but it was really good. I appreciated it a lot because it started you from the beginning and took you through like here's what the student experience is from the beginning they open and read your syllabus to how are they interpreting your assignments, how are they interpreting your rubrics, and then what little things can you tweak. Sometimes it's just that little thing you can add
Mm,
that makes it either more accessible or gives the student a better understanding of what the purpose, like why are we even doing this? So
nice.
yeah, it's a really good course. I learned a lot from it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, I agree. It was quite comprehensive, I would say. But one of the main things that I really liked about it was having the method. So as you said, like maybe there's something that's like really easy, kind of I like to think about like low-hanging fruit. Um, doesn't seem that hard if you're going to be doing an online class to add a netiquette statement. Like you could just type in netiquette statements and copy over something just to make sure people know how to interact online. Collaborative documents. Like this is just a random indicator from the many that there were there to choose from. So I'm glad that was good for you, Sally. And y'all should listen to Sally because she teaches teaching. She's teaches the how to be a good teacher. So if she likes it, then it's got to be good.
Don't tell
So
me to listen to me.
um But so what I like to think about, so this that's the sections 1, 2, 3 of the Washington course design checklist. I kind of feel like this home course is the spiritual successor to the framework course in that course, I also had a kind of theme where we were building a house and we had or let me see if I can find an example where we had Simon. Remember, I would put Simon out there and be like, all right, we're uh we're putting in the post, the wooden post, and that's gonna help us support our structure of our course. And so all of the lessons have us building this house. And I like to think of this house as that house that we built in the framework course. So, um, and to actually be a successor to that. This community of practice is going to be focused on section 4 and section 5 since we didn't have enough time to cover those. But you can see there's still quite a few more things to look at. So section 4 is focused on the materials and tools. So if you're looking at, what you need to do with course materials, like we talked about here for accessibility. So text accessibility, multimedia accessibility, data privacy. Um, this is going to be some good stuff here if this is what we're going to be covering in the community of practice. There's also course orientation and structure. So that's navigation items. We talked about navigating, turning off the old syllabus and turning on simple syllabus, making sure that your modules and files are organized nicely. So um, that's why we decided that for course design as the C in CARES. The C in CARES is community of care, but a poorly designed course quietly becomes a barrier. Students who could not, or students who could do the work get lost in the structure or they give up because they cannot tell what matters. I was just talking with an instructor where they were saying, oh, we were doing all of these assignments in this course, but uh, they were for the wrong course. And so if the students are having trouble with that, then it's going to make it harder for the instructor to like sort through and figure out what is important that the students are submitting. So I would say clear design is how you care for every student at once, and it connects directly to retention and completion. So you're kind of like doubling up here. And also, if we're talking about access, then you're a little bit dipping into that goal as well. So the same care shows up in the honest practical things. So talking about the cost of materials, considering open education resources, which we'll be going into more in this course, and then clear expectations for academic integrity and AI use. Once again, something we'll cover in this course. And then making sure that it's accessible. So I'll try to make this course accessible for you all. I think everything has an alt text and I try to structure it so that it's not too much information at one time. And speaking of Canvas excellence, section 5 is literally about orientation, the welcoming start here, working navigation, and logically organized modules with consistent naming. So if we look over here at my modules, I had to try to keep the similar structure here. And I know it looks like AI, but even if I didn't have AI, this is how I would do it because I feel like the consistent template for the students means that they're not guessing about like what's happening next. So if you wanna look through these are the so that the way the course design checklist is set up is you'll have like a section, and then each section will have the I can't remember what they're called. So there's a standard, yeah, there's a section, and then there's a standard, and then there's an indicator. And so that's kind of the hierarchy as it goes down. The section is the big one that holds all of the standards, and then under each standard, there's indicators on, how to show. So course materials align with learning activities, assessments, and module level objectives and course level outcomes. That's there's ways to show that happens in your course. And so these are measurable if you're looking for a smart way to explain it. Measurable, it's specific, it's actionable, attainable. Who knows SMART goals? R is, I know T is time bound, but I can never remember what R is. Um, so yeah, if you want to kind of click through these are just if you want a sneak peek of what the community of practice is going to be focused on. You can kind of go on your own time. Thank you, Charity. It was irrelevant. It just wasn't in my brain. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go with that on your own time. If you want to look more into the course design checklist and kind of what those standards cover. I'm gonna show y'all how to create a crosswalk live um, because, as I said, if we look here at this first one, course materials align with learning activities, assessments, objectives, and course level outcomes. That's kind of what this crosswalk does, right? If I look here, it's got my lesson, it's got my course learning outcomes. I've also got it, to my program and to the college-wide. And then you would put your either lesson or you can put your assignments. There's multiple ways to do it. And we're going to look at some examples so you can find a way that works for you. But go ahead and close up some of this stuff. I'm going to show you how to make one before we look at them. So, okay, so I'm going to show you. Let me see here. You're going to do it. This is the heart. So I chose Elizabeth's course. Elizabeth submitted to that form earlier. She was the first in, so I'm going to choose hers. Um, I'm saying to open up Copilot. I'm going to show you all how I would do it with using AI. And before I do that, though, you have to have some information about your course. So it says here to paste in your course outcomes and a list of activities and assessments. What you can do for those is, or what I would do is I would open up my modules and you can either select everything like this, and then you can copy it and paste it. It comes in a little bit messy because it's also copying in like some of what, like how these boxes are made, and you could see that it comes in there twice. AI can figure it out. It knows that there's not two weak ones. Um, Also, if y'all are looking for nice extensions, I found this extension. It's called Go Full Page. Go Full Page, all one word. If you install that into your browser and click, there'll be this little Pac-Man animation, but it will screen capture your full page, not just like the part that you're looking at. It'll go through and capture the whole thing. So I found out about that tool recently, and I'm super excited about it because then I can just click download PDF, and then I've got my module list there in a couple of clicks. So I'm going to grab that. I'm also going to grab my simple syllabus. Now, to save your simple syllabus, you're just going to click on simple syllabus, and then it's not going to work. No, I'm just kidding. So as an instructor, if you go into simple syllabus, it should show up. It's not showing up. I think I know why. There's something that is a problem with my SIS ID. So I'm going to try this real quick. And hopefully this will show up. But once you have those two things, that should be enough to get started. Obviously, the more the better. Um, I have something where I can put in the course number. So I was asking for your course numbers, and then it can extract all of the pages and assignments and all the quizzes into one long HTML. So if you want like all of the content from your course, um, send me a message and I can, or send me an email and I can set up a time and do that for you. But yeah, like I said, as long as you have your syllabus and your list of modules. That should be a good place to start. And then let's see here. I'm going to say it says build a crosswalk table. So I'm going to try this and see what the result is. So I'm just copying that. It's 1 row per outcome with columns for the activities and build it as an assessments and the assessments that measure it. And then I'm going to take this is the syllabus that I'm dragging over, and then this is the uh, module list. So I'm going to start with that and see what it comes up with. I also created a what is this called? An agent in Copilot. I have a Copilot agent called the Crosswalk Creator, where I don't need to put any of this text in there. I just toss the files in there, and then it'll come up. Okay, so let's see here. Course learning outcomes, activities that brought. Yeah, see, I don't like the way that this is. This is not the style that I want. So I have a prompt later on for y'all to try. So let me see if I can get to it. So I should have put that prompt up there, but if you go into the next event here, event 6 out of 9, there's a prompt. And then I'm gonna try it with this one because I don't like what that last one came up with. And then let's see, attached. So y'all can take your time to read that later, but basically it's just saying that I want an alignment crosswalk. I want the right numbering and wording and module names, and then it gives what the college-wide learning outcomes. And then it says here, when the table is done, give it to me as an editable spreadsheet. So we'll see what that comes up with. But yeah, so I'm doing this right now with mine, but I said I would do it with Elizabeth. So let me go ahead and get Elizabeth up here. And actually, I think for Elizabeth, I'm going to use the I'm going to use this Crosswalk Creator. So if you wanna mess around with the Crosswalk Creator, it is in event 6 out of 9. You just click that one open, and then there's a button here that should open up directly into Copilot. You may need to log in because it is for Clover Park people only. And so in order to use that tool, you would have to log in. If I come over here and I do the same thing for Elizabeth's class, I've got the module list here. So I just took a screen capture. I downloaded the simple syllabus. And then this is what I'm talking about where you can just download the whole course. So I have I created something that can go in and get all of the assignments and all of that kind of stuff. So you could put that one in, and you don't even really need to say anything with this Crosswalk Creator. You just put those files in, and then it will figure it out. So while that's kind of cooking up in the background, I want to say that once we get the draft back, we're going to want to look at it carefully because odds are the AI is not going to be perfect on first run through. So you want to look at it. What I like to do is while I'm looking at AI output, I like to have a Microsoft Word document open, and then I put the dictate on, and then I speak. Like as I'm going through it, I say, oh, this is wrong, or this needs to be moved, or update this. And then I take all of those notes, like as I'm talking about it, and then I copy those notes and put it back into that same chat where I'm working on the crosswalk. And then most of the time it fixes the errors if I call them out. And then once again, you don't need to do this. You don't have to do the AI stuff if you're anti-AI. You can do this by hand. So in that case, you would just have like a piece of paper, and then you would write down all of the things that the students need to do, and then or you could do it weekly. You can do it by module. It's really up to you. And so actually, this is going to be a good segue to talk about different ways to do it. So I have the home crosswalk here. For this one, I have the room and the focus because for the home course, we have the different rooms. And then I've got the course learning outcomes, program learning outcomes, and then college-wide learning outcomes. Um, the leaders of this community of practice, I don't think I've mentioned yet, are Derek Faust and Shawn Geary. So in the fall, if you're interested in working with Shawn and Derek, some of our all-star faculty leads, um, they have graciously provided me with crosswalks that they've done. And so Derek put one together for his environmental critical areas, ENV 251, which y'all can, I'll just kind of click it open real quick so you can see kind of the way that Derek put this together. It's very similar to the way the framework was. Derek was somebody who was there almost every week at the framework course. And so um, he's got the individual lesson, the objective, and then all of the outcomes. If you're looking at a different approach, we've got Shawn Geary here to walk us through his crosswalk. So do you want to share or do you want me to just open it up?
I can share. I'll share.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Let me go ahead and move things around here. All right. So I kind of took a little bit more of a simpler approach when designing kind of a crosswalk. I first started with like a broad stroke, just kind of an overview of things. So what I did is, with the help of inspiration from the nursing, how they created program values, we kind of started there. So this is in every one of our courses is the program value, and then we would have an outcome that's tied to that value. So everything is scaffolded and connected very easily through that. And so then I went through and I just made some notes. I'm just more of a thinker. Let me just throw down some thoughts of what's going on. So I have that here. And I can do this with, every class, easy as just different tabs. I love Excel. I'm a big Excel user. It's what I use the most. It's easier to make new cells. So like one of the things you'll notice in mine is I don't have the college-wide learning outcomes yet because we're still working together. Me and my other instructors, we're still kind of talking about that, where they line and where we need to make those changes. But I can easily come in here and, insert a new column and start filling in that information I need to. So this is just one way we can structure this by hand is using an Excel document where we can look at the program value outcome and then what activities line to those things. But then I also created another version that's kind of a little more eye appealing. It's kind of more of a visual of where are these outcomes aligning in which modules or weeks. And as you can see, like my technical proficiency, it's something that we do every single day in the course because it's a software class. We're always talking about tools and technology. But then as I, kind of mark out where and what modules we are covering these outcomes, you'll notice I have these red areas. These are areas we do not cover these outcomes. And that's an opportunity, me and the other instructors, or a little review on Canvas. Is this a bad thing, or is this kind of one of those things, well, it doesn't pertain to that course, like 100%. And that's where we would have kind of notes on the side here, kind of explaining what's going on within those modules. Again, I don't have college-wide yet because, again, I'm still working with the other instructors to kind of figure out how those would align with our courses. One thing I do like about this process right here is that I can have every single course kind of laid out and we can visually see how everything aligns with every outcome, and every week we are teaching what activities are we doing that applies to these outcomes. But yeah, so that's kind of my approach to these crosswalks. Kind of just more of a broad stroke kind of thing here.
Yeah. Looks awesome, and I like that it's a different way of doing it, and I think that especially this one that we're looking at now
Mhm.
kind of reminds me of the PAMS, the program assessment
Oh,
maps that
yeah.
we do at outcomes and assessment day, where you're looking and there's,
Hmm.
okay, where do we meet this outcome? Or yeah, where do we meet this outcome? Where in this course it's emerging and
Hmm.
introductory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
And that's kind of cool with this layout because I was actually playing with that the other day. I could do that instead of X's. I can do like eyes or hey, we're re
oh,
reinforcing this here. We're masking it by this point here too. So we can make those adjustments too.
mm,
Uh, I'm a definitely hands-on person. I like playing with things, and that's why I like Excel sheets because I get to get in there and kind of play and experiment what works best for the team and for us to kind of visualize how things are lining up within
yeah.
our outcomes.
Yeah, and if you love Excel, Excel is great. If you like just paper and pencil,
And,
then maybe that's your way that you can kind of
yeah,
put it
we've
all
definitely done it on
together.
whiteboards. Just
Yeah.
got on a whiteboard and start drawing it all out.
Yeah, I've seen the whiteboards in your office. I know that they have I see all the alignment, all your
Right.
guys is what you're thinking about. So that's great. Thank you, Sean,
Yeah.
for showing that off. And yeah, so and especially here, let me see. I got it up here as well. I like that they're aligned with the program values. So you can see that in each course, they're touching on at least one of these things. And it looks like in most of these courses, they're touching on everything almost every week of the course, with the exception of the things that are like, okay, I need to really focus on the critical thinking here at the end. So good stuff. So those are there. If y'all are interested in seeing the examples, yeah, I think I brought that one up already. This is the one from this course. And then I have the Crosswalk Creator down here in Event 6. So once again, get your syllabus, get a list of your modules, and then let's see here. List your outcomes down the left. Fill in. Oh, so this is if you want to do it kind of on your own. But if you want, like I said, to have the AI do the heavy lifting, which, maybe it's not perfect. Let's see. Let's bring Elizabeth back in here. Are you still there, Elizabeth? I just want you to kind of look at
Hi.
this and see is if this would be helpful for you at all based on I gave it all the information into the checker and it put it out like this, where you've got your individual lessons here, you've got the objectives and the outcomes. Does this look right to you at all?
Okay, yeah. So if I look at, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have the best internet. Yeah, so I see the lesson, like the one you have highlighted.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they use immersive reader for that. So the lesson objective, access text through multimodal reading support, that's correct. And then the course learning outcome, I believe the first course learning outcome is identify texts, different types of texts. So
Hmm.
that is relevant. Yep.
Let me see if I can if it has there in here somewhere. Course learning outcomes, because I'm sure it's pulling it from somewhere. It's just not it doesn't have them listed. Anyways, and then let's see, it also added in uh maybe there's also something in there that's got the program learning outcomes.
I believe so. Yes. Okay. And yeah, so I want to say program the,
Oh no. Now the internet's
what is
acting
it?
up.
I don't know what that is off the top of my head.
That's okay.
But
But
it's
it's
got technological literacy in there, so
hmm
that fits along with using immersive reader. So that seems
yeah.
correct.
And so, yeah, this is, I mean, I would say like, I'm putting Elizabeth here on the spot, but would you say, Elizabeth, that this would at least be a good starting point if you were to create a crosswalk, like you would have this information that's already like pre-populated, you would just have to like go in and clean it up?
Yes, what I'd probably do is probably filter using, like, if I wanted to make sure all the course learning outcomes matched, I might filter by just one of them and see where
Mm,
they're showing up. But yeah, I think I would definitely filter this information down, but it's good to have it all at the start for sure.
yeah. And once again, what I'm saying, where it's like, okay, if Elizabeth thinks this, needs to be filtered in some way, maybe you could ask the AI and say, hey, I want this to be filtered by course learning outcome, and can you list the course learning outcomes and program learning outcomes fully? Because right now everything is just like um, shortened version. So let me see here. Oh, it does say here required crosswalk columns. And I will say that once I put these in here, I think I was doing this while Shawn was talking. So it said here, it looks like your last message came through empty. It's because I was just giving documents. But it says, so maybe I could say build a crosswalk or something. Because then what I did was I just said build a complete crosswalk workbook. And then it built the workbook, and it says, and then it gives you the actual Excel file there. And so that's what I clicked on to open it up in Excel. And then course materials provide clear CLOs, but the program learning outcomes are only partially available. So in the modules, references are embedded in the modules. So um, once again, the more information that you give it, like more context, the more that it's going to uh, or it's less work that you're going to have to fix later on. So, okay, I just had a 5-minute warning, so I'm going to kind of go through this stuff pretty quickly here. So that's how to do your crosswalk. If y'all want to work on that. In terms of the course design checklist, so I showed you just very briefly what the sections of uh, the crosswalk were. So sections 4 and 5 here. Section 4, materials and tools. Section 5, course orientation. I just want you to go through and look and think about one standard that you most likely would like to strengthen, or one indicator that you feel like you could easily do. And you can pick multiple ones for this one. So if you're interested in this one, this one, this one, you can kind of look through there and think, oh, I could improve on that. And then you can kind of check through that. If you can go through that, that would be great. That gives us information about like where we want to steer this community of practice. And then also for yourself, the main inspection document this week is another 10 things to look at while you're going through your courses. So my course materials align with my learning activities, assessments, objectives, and outcomes. That's the first indicator of section 4. My course materials include resources that are current to my discipline and industry. I mean, like these are all things that hopefully we should be like in the middle, but if you're not, that's okay too. That's where you would want to maybe put your focus in. So if y'all remember back in module number 1, we looked at the inspection document. It gave you 10 things to reflect on, and these were all the previews, right? Of the it was like a preview of a preview. And so now we're in here and we're kind of expanding this C, right? We're expanding it out and we're looking at specifically Canvas design and course excellence. So take a look at that. Answer honestly. Make sure you fill in the reflections. If you give me a document that doesn't have any reflections filled out, I'm going to mark it as incomplete, and you can't get your credit for doing it. So just like a couple words, a sentence of why you put it the way that you did. Okay. And I've been trying to go through them. I think I'm pretty up to date. I've been trying to add any sort of extra comments or feedback. So hopefully that's been helpful for you all. And next week, we are going to be going into access. We're going to look at the next CARES goal is access. We're going to change to the yellow color. Hopefully, see here, Dion, I think has class during that time, but maybe Julie, if she's around, can join us to talk about accessibility and universal design for learning. If you have any questions for today's session, please feel free to stay after. I will stick around for a couple minutes. And then if not, thank you all for your time. Thank you for coming. And I hope to see you all again next week.
Thank you.
Close the-